Live from New York.
I am back.
It's a show that has an IMDb page, and we'll tell you about it.
Two of the three of us
Don't be mad.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Just stop falling for me.
Bru's been in multiple
Stop doubting me.
TV shows and movies. I've been in one with Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons.
What were you in?
National Champions. A movie about the football players that went on strike before the national championship game to get paid. Kind of foreshadowed NIL. I'm actually the first voice and face you see in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good. You got to pick it up, KW.
I'm in nothing.
But I'm not an actor. I was just playing a broadcaster. That's why I can't act like Brew.
Yeah. I got range.
Right.
We start with the Bake Show. 2 touchdowns on the night in the air. Another game-winning drive. 15-yard scramble on 4th and 10 to keep the game-winning drive alive. Rashad White's 2-yard touchdown with 6 seconds left sealed the game. Look at the Bake Show go.
That was a 4th and 10, man.
He's so good.
That was awesome.
Baker trailing in the fourth quarter since the start of last season, completing about 74% of his passes, passer rating at 108. He leads the whole league in completion percentage. 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nick, you've always believed in the Bake Show. Now do you believe the Bucs are real Super Bowl contenders? I think you have. You have them going to
I have them going to the Super Bowl, and
it.
I mean, how could they not be? Like, the combination of great skill position players that we think are going to get better when Godwin gets there and as Ibuka, gets older in his rookie year. 2 running backs that most teams would love to have as just one of their running backs. Todd Bowles' big weakness historically has been game management, and I thought he was excellent at it last night on both sides, and he's always been great at cooking up blitzes, which they might need to more now because Kalijah Kancey tore his pec in the game. That was the one real loss. The right tackle went out, but Kancey potentially lost for the season. And then you have Bake Show, who, dating back to his time in Cleveland, when he went to Pittsburgh and hung almost 50 on him in the playoffs, has always been a very good big game quarterback, and now has proven over the last year plus he is quite simply, without any qualifiers needed, one of the very best quarterbacks in football. Here are his ranks in the league since the start of last season.
Yeah.
He's top 4 across the board. Total touchdowns 2nd, total yards 2nd, passer rating 4th, and when you add to it the path of that division to where, and one of the reasons I picked them to go to the Super Bowl is they were my pick to be the 1 seed, because I think the NFC East is going to provide more potential pitfalls for Philly along the way. The NFC North is going to provide more pitfalls along the way. And as we're seeing this year, the NFC West could,
West is gonna be tough.
The West all of a sudden is really tough. The South is not. And so for them to play 2 teams that going into the year, Brew, I think were considered either right on the outside or right on the inside of projected playoff pictures. Atlanta and Houston, you know what I mean? They were both projected to be it's somewhere from 8-9 to 10-7, not great teams but good teams, not play their best, steal victories, and be 2-0. Yes, to me, they are true contenders.
No, they look good. I said yesterday they are not Super Bowl contenders. I will say today that they are.
Wow.
I think they are. I still have Green Bay, which is my pick in the NFC, Philadelphia, and Detroit ahead of them.
Detroit, too. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit, we'll see.
Yeah.
Have they righted everything? We can see. But right now, I'd probably go with Detroit. But I think Tampa Bay's right there after that. As you said, I mean, Baker is now, he's gone from, I think a few years ago, one of us said he's a dark horse MVP candidate. So he is a legitimate MVP candidate now. And like you say, he can run, he can pass, he's clutch. The players believe in him, so he has the intangibles to galvanize the locker room. The defense has played well. That's Bowles' specialty. They stopped the run well. Bucky Irving has, and I know Rashad is good too, but Bucky Irving has kind of changed everything for them. Remember, they didn't have a running game for so long.
Correct.
And he corrected that right away. He can also catch it out of the backfield. So, yeah, I think, as you alluded to last week when we were in Kansas City, if everybody plays their A-plus game. If everybody plays their A-plus game, I think the teams I mentioned are better. But obviously that doesn't always happen.
I agree with
and
that.
you do have a quarterback that can ratchet it up in the big game. So I think they're right. I would probably say second-tier Super Bowl contender, but contender nonetheless.
The confetti test is Simmons' thing. I think it's so ubiquitous. I've just kind of think it's a thing, but I think
We're used to you taking other people's things and making them your own.
Thank you.
Defense wins championships, Achilles heel. People have done that to you, I'm saying. You came up with that.
Yeah, now the shoe-
It's like a get back.
now the shoe's on the other foot. Trademark.
Oh, wow.
Confetti test a lot of times in the NBA. Can you close your eyes, see this superstar hosting the Larry O'Brien Trophy? NFL-wise, if you close your eyes, you don't have to do it. Can you see Baker holding the Super Bowl MVP trophy? Outside, they're contenders, they're good. Can you actually see him winning it all?
I could see him eventually winning the Super Bowl. This year, I would say no.
I know we're going to talk about them shortly. By that test, I can see that this year more easily than I can see Justin Herbert this year. I just feel like there is a. Say it again.
Playoff success?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like he has had more of the steps of the journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So we've seen him play really well in multiple years in the playoffs. And I thought you were going to mention this because you love fairly that Jalen Hurts has won, what is it now, 18 in a row, 17 in a row?
Well, he's now 16-0 in his last 16, but I think it's...
Okay. Well, whatever it is,
so
the
many,
last team to beat the Philadelphia Eagles when Jalen Hurts started and finished the game were Baker's Tampa Bay Bucs, and they throttled them.
Yeah.
It was 33 to 16.
Game?
No,
it's like
no. 33 to 16. It
like
was
almost a
week
year
4.
ago.
Yeah, it was almost week 4 of last season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was when they were 2-2 and, on shaky ground, and then the Eagles have been this dominant force since then. I think that's sneaky helps them. You know what I mean? That they don't feel like, oh, we're overmatched by this team.
Anybody.
We can play with anybody. And I feel like we would be remiss without, and maybe at this point this is the end of it, but just acknowledging what a disastrous chain of events the Browns set into motion on themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. When we go back
can I
go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Would Baker have become this if he stayed there is what you're going to ask?
Yeah.
Well, Stefanski is a good coach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
They have a good defense.
I think that had the the Browns embraced Baker the way Sean McVay and then the Bucs did maybe. I do know that in his first, he was the #1 pick for a franchise that has been looking for a quarterback for decades.
Mm-hmm.
They were 1-31 in the 2 years before they drafted him. 1-31. He then sets the rookie record for touchdown passes at his first year, obviously. And his third year, they win a playoff game in Pittsburgh. And by his fifth, they're like, we're too good for you. And we will move heaven and earth to bring in Deshaun Watson in large part because Odell's dad thinks you're a problem. Yeah. And it just...
And that was the thing. I mean, there were a lot of factors. Yes. It wasn't just Odell and his dad. But Odell being such a popular player. Remember when he first got there, he and Baker was like, oh, they're going to be this team, great tandem and all that. Odell was so popular around the league in that locker room that when his dad kind of turned on him, it was like everybody went against Baker. And if they had Baker Mayfield, because that defense is good, they give up a lot of points because the offense does nothing, but the defense is actually really good. They would be, I'm not going to say contender, but they'd be a playoff team.
They
would
were
definitely
a playoff
be a playoff
team after Baker with Joe Flacco.
They could do some damage in the playoffs.
I think on the heels of Tom Brady's hit with Colin when he talked about quarterback development, next time we have Baker on the show, I think it's a good question for him. If you stayed in Cleveland, would you be this player?
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is.
Baker's one of the...
He had good moments. It's not like he was Sam Darnold or something. He had some really good moments.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's skill is enough to overcome a organization that doesn't have the structure to make you great.
Sure. Maybe he wouldn't have reached these heights, but they opted out of quarterback stability.
That's right.
And that, you know what I mean? And we'll see if and when they recover from it.
Fifth straight year the Bucs have started 2-0. On the other side of the ball, the Texans came up short. Winless to start the season. C.J. Stroud expecting to hear some criticism. Okay. Is it time for the Texans to panic?
I don't think panic. I mean, they've played two really good teams. Two, you think Super Bowl contenders, both of them,
yes.
Rams, and they've lost by a combined total of 6 points. The defense is good. I mean, you face Matthew Stafford and Baker Mayfield, and I think they're giving up about 17 points a game. Like, the defense has been good. We know they have a strong pass rush. Their problem has been offensively.
Correct.
They haven't gotten it going, and it is now time to wonder what in the world is going on with C.J. Stroud, who was fantastic as a rookie, started out that second season pretty strong, and then since then, he hasn't been, like, horrible, but he hasn't been close to what made everyone love him a few years ago.
Well, if you cut his, bro, you can keep going, but just show the graphic. If you cut his career in half, now the midway point does happen to be the moment he told Caleb, come here, young fellow, let me teach you something. But it's 17 games on both sides, Brew, and those are drastically different numbers. Like 26 to 5 touchdown interception, 18 to 13 touchdown interception. Rating of 101 to 84. Like, yards per game dropped by almost 60 yards. Like, that is seismic difference. And it's, 17 before and 17 after.
And remember, when he came in, he had DeMeco Ryans was a rookie head coach. The organization was in tatters. They didn't have Joe Mixon that year. The offensive line was, injuries, guys in and out, and he still played great. So I get it. Mixon isn't there. Chubb, isn't what he used to be. He had a nice run last night. They've had some injuries with Tank Dell. Stephon Diggs got hurt, and now he's gone. So I get some of those things, but he looked like a guy that was overcoming whatever was in his path as a rookie. And so that's their biggest question. They still, look, the division isn't strong. Their next two games are Jacksonville, Tennessee. You would think they should be 2-2.
Jacksonville game's huge.
That's a big game, right. But they could be 2-2 in short order and then still be in the mix in that division. But they clearly aren't a Super Bowl contender.
Go ahead, KW.
It's getting late early in Houston. This Jacksonville game might be it.
Well, it's a big game.
If you go, if the Prince can eliminate the Texans, we got you. You guys are now 0-3. We're gonna cruise and have Houston in the rearview mirror. Be a great moment for.
Well, listen,
the Prince got a long way to go.
If you can put sort of like a powerhouse team,
they got to worry about the
before I give my answer, I feel the need to disclose and remind the audience, especially after what happened yesterday. I did live in Houston for 4 years.
Yeah, of course.
So this is, I guess, another one of my hometown teams that's 0-2 that I'm not going to write off.
That's your.
But it's my thing. I wouldn't panic yet. For a lot of the reasons Bruce said. I wouldn't feel great. And I agree with you, Brew, that I don't look at them as they come nowhere close to passing the confetti test. I would be gobsmacked if this team goes on a deep, great playoff run. However, the defense was supposed to be their strength. I think the defense has been pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Like they held the Rams to 14. They held the Bucs to 14 until, and they had the Bucs at 14 points in a 4th and 10 and seemingly had Baker sacked to win the game, and Baker made a great play. So I do think the defense has been great. I don't know that I ever believed Stroud was quite as good as he showed his rookie year, but I do believe he's better than he has showed over the last year. So I think he'll play a little better. And then there is the important factor of the division, which is I am planting my flag that the 2025 2-0 dynamic offense, holy crap, Daniel Jones, Indianapolis Colts, are on a group chat with the 2024 holy crap Derek Carr dynamic offense New Orleans Saints. And that they are going to have a similar, next few months that the Saints did, which is this team out of nowhere. The offense is amazing. The coordinator's a genius. And then it gets, water finds its level. If that's correct, 9 wins this division. We have seen a year 8 wins won this division. And so, the Jacksonville blowing that game to Cincinnati was massive. You know what Jacksonville had that game won. then you would feel like they really could end them. 3-0 with a head-to-head versus 0-3. Yep. Now you look at it and you're like, Houston could be a game out of first place in this division next week, but I just don't think structurally they have figured out the offense. They got rid of Bobby Slowick. The new offensive coordinator, it doesn't quite gel yet, and that to me is a problem.
2 for 9 on third down, sacked 4 times, 13 total pressures.
Yeah, the offensive line, that's what the offensive line killed him last year. They traded away Tunsil.
I didn't understand.
And, well, they hated the penalties, but he was still a very good player.
Okay, well, now getting sacked. Meanwhile, in Vegas, Justin Herbert dispatched of Geno and the Raiders 20-9, 2 touchdowns, while the Chargers defense flummoxed Geno. AFC West odds have moved. Chargers now 1, Chiefs are 2, Broncos
with a big
at
gap.
3.
That's a big gap. -110 to +270 is a big gap.
Raiders way back at 4. Do the Chargers deserve to be AFC West favorites?
Well, first, let me do my impression of Pete Carroll on the sideline yesterday. No!
This guy. We have a Raiders topic.
Gino!
We're doing the Raiders. We put a Raiders topic in the show just
How
for
many
you.
picks did he have?
I know, but
He had
this is going to be a
3.
Chargers.
I'm just saying, and I like Gino.
Well, then how are
he's
you-
a good quarterback.
How are you going to
Y'all
do the
think he's
Raiders
all
topic?
world. That's all I'm saying. All right,
Stay
here we
tuned
go.
where we hear that again.
Yeah.
37 passer rating, too. The Chargers, yes, they should be the favorite.
Wow.
Now, you used in the intro, you said, are they the team to beat? The Chiefs are still the team to beat. But the favorite to win the division, I think, is the Chargers.
So right now you'd pick them.
Yes.
I know I'm not asking you to change your pick.
No,
anything like that.
to win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, I still, to win the division, I think the Chargers are in great. One, they don't have the schedule, obviously, that the Chiefs have as a first-place team last year. So the Chiefs' schedule is a little bit tougher. That defense has kind of picked up where it was last year, where it was the best scoring defense in the league. It's been really good this year. And Herbert has just taken it to another level. And that receiving core, I thought all they had was Lab McConkey. But, Johnston.
Keenan Allen's been awesome.
Keenan Allen has, I mean, I don't want to say turn back the clock, but the fact that he was looking for a job just a few weeks ago, like, he's been good. Johnston's been good. Obviously, McConkey. They haven't even gotten their run game going yet. And I think Hampton is good. And obviously, Najee Harris is pretty good. So that's a nice tandem in the backfield. I think Harbaugh is a fantastic coach.
Yep.
He really is. And so I am a believer. I think they are a Super Bowl contender. I kind of look at them like Tampa Bay. I like Baltimore and Buffalo. And in the playoffs, I'd say Kansas City better. But I think they're right there like a second-tier Super Bowl contender. So, yeah, I think they should be the favorites. 2-0 versus 0-2 and a head-to-head over the Chiefs.
I wonder, I disagree with Danny Parkins, but I tweeted out last night that Justin Herbert has entered the MVP conversation, the way too early MVP conversation. And Danny's just looking for converts so he can lead us all to the Justin Herbertville. But Justin Herbert's problem has never been his arm. It's been a little between the ears, pressure, bad decision-making in big moments. If that's the leap that he's taking, I don't think he's become a better physical football player. Maybe he's healthy. But if he's making better decisions, he just seems confident and kind of cool now.
I mean, last year he made great decisions all year en route to only throwing 3 picks until the playoff game. So, last year,
but he wasn't throwing that much.
Right, that's what I was going to say. The difference is, and what I'm sure Danny loves, is they're the pass-happiest team in the league right now. They are, by a large margin, lead the NFL in percent that they pass on first down in neutral game score situations. You know what I mean? They're leaning into him as a passer. And he's been excellent. And Bruce Ballot coming up at the end of the show, a little 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern, I would imagine he's on there. And if I had a ballot through 2 weeks, he would be on mine. But let's pump the brakes a bit. Because I understand 2-0 versus 0-2 with the head-to-head is massive. The head-to-head is, in a weird way more meaningful in Bills-Ravens than it is for Chiefs-Chargers right now because they're not playing again and the Chiefs-Chargers are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
was that who was that home game? Was that
Chargers? It was their game. And so I'm just going to point out the things that concern me. I understand them wanting to lean more into Herbert. They seemed oddly allergic to running the ball yesterday. Even in the game, they were dominating. More on that in a second. I'm always going to worry about this team, not just because of the jerseys, but because of the age of some of their key players with injury. And Khalil Mack's in a sling. Keenan Allen has been great. I would be stunned if Keenan Allen plays the full season. And Herbert, yesterday, I am very consistent on this. I don't like my quarterback running. I don't like that Patrick's doing it now. And so Herbert, there were a couple times yesterday he got lit up.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was bad, that one.
This is a dirty is maybe too strong. It ends up being a dirty play. It's late. That's brutal, though. And this gets to the game management stuff. Don't run the next tape yet if you can wait, Hubs, because I want to set it up. And this is my bigger concern, and we can stop playing this. I thought the Chargers, at the end of this game, it was some of the most baffling decisions I've seen a good coach make. If people, didn't stay up for it or weren't watching, because this was the late game, right? This was the one they did at 1 a.m. Eastern. They are up 11 with 9 minutes left in the game. They throw it incomplete twice and then go for a fourth down. Yep. Okay, and you know what I mean? All right, the Raiders then give it right back. They are then up 11 with 4 minutes left. They throw it incomplete again. Raiders then turn the ball over. They're up 11 with 3 minutes left. Fumble on the first play. Okay, that's a fumble. They are up 11 with 2 minutes left. And let me show you the play they run. Again, they're up 11 with 2 minutes left. The game is over. They call a designed run for Herbert. He had that weird slide, and you don't really see it fully here. He got up wincing and holding his back. I hated that. Like, I didn't understand. They signed Najee Harris. They drafted a guy in the first round. You're up 11 against a Raider team that's having its worst offensive game of Geno's life. Like, why they are not only asking Herbert to keep throwing, but putting him in jeopardy was perplexing to me. And so here would be my last point about the division. I just want to show you how both the Chiefs and the Chargers season ends. They play each other, and the Chargers have the Eagles, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos. Chiefs have Texans, Broncos, same, but instead of Eagles, Cowboys, Titans, Raiders. My question is this. How big of a lead do the Chargers need for you to feel the Chiefs aren't running them down? If that's the setup and they get them in Kansas City in Week 15. Like, you know what I mean? If the Chiefs go into that game, go into that stretch 7-6, and the Chargers are, what would that be? 10-3. Or I'm sorry, 9-3. Seven. So it would be. I guess I'm doing the math. 7-5 versus 9-3. Like, I would say I would like the Chiefs' chances there, and so I wouldn't print the T-shirts yet, even though they right now look like the best team.
Yeah, you're not gonna obviously write the Chiefs off, but the Chargers look tough, and I'm shocked because they haven't missed Rashawn Slater. Maybe their run game, maybe they'd lean more into the run game if they had Slater.
Joe Alt's been great.
Yeah, but
passer rating 120, basically 128, second best in the NFL behind only
Lamar.
Is Jalen Hurts actually underrated? Yes, according to new QB rankings from Jeff Howe in The Athletic. One rival executive. At this, now we're doing anonymous compliments.
Yeah, I know.
Just enough.
That's how you get the truth.
Compliments?
I'm just saying.
Sorry, I didn't even read it yet.
Sorry, go ahead and read it.
He's a killer. His toughness and makeup are so underrated. We concern ourselves so much about arm talent and then just completely underrate the intangibles at the position. From an anonymous executive.
Yeah, because he doesn't want people to hear.
Well, right. It's people in the league who's criticizing.
I guess so. Is anyone buying that Jalen Hurts is now underrated?
At this point, I think it's possible the pendulum has swung a bit too far in the other direction.
To where he's overrated?
Well, we were on Thursday and Friday of last week, Wilds was kicking around the conversation of just wanting to have the conversation, is he the best quarterback in football? And when I totally agree with the idea that it is a fool's errand to simply measure quarterbacks by how well they throw the football. I think that is for most quarterbacks, the most important thing they do, but not for all. And I think there's a lot more to playing the position and winning than just that. And Hurts gets somewhere from an A to an A triple plus in basically every category but that one. Mm-hmm. But when that one, at least this year, has been as anemic as it's been, and it's not like last year where, well, the team's beating everyone by 30 and Saquon's, running for 2,000 yards, then I don't think through 2 weeks his standing should have improved. You know what I mean? And so if we can put up the passing charts and then his season numbers, again, like that, there's week 1. It's a bunch of nothing, and then the pass to, was it Dotson? And then the one deep down the field. Week 2 was somehow worse. Really a bunch of nothing, and then the one pass to Devontae. And then his passing numbers, coach, are what they are as far as league ranks. I mean, again, if you are ranking him saying, and so this is why he's the 15th best quarterback, then yeah, he's way underrated. But I think his general ranking is about 8th. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably
some might
about.
Even have him higher.
Yeah, some might have him higher, but Wilds finds people who have him lower. So that's why I said, you know what I mean? Sure. To me, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know if that's totally a compliment.
What?
They're sitting
From
there
the
saying,
anonymous executive?
yeah, he's completely underrated for his intangibles. Yeah, but and people overrate arm talent. So you're essentially saying, yeah, he's got great intangibles. He's not that guy. Not great skill, not great ability as a passer.
Yeah.
But he is underrated from an intangible perspective. Or I think more people are. I don't even know if he's even underrated there because people respect that part of his game so much. But the flip side of that is he's essentially saying, yeah, the arm talent part's not where you'd want it to be. And when you look at his numbers, and I know Kevin loves when I bring this up, but now we're at 17 games. We're in the last 17 games that they've won. He's thrown the ball more than 30 times once. Okay, so it's 7. Yeah. So there's a formula, and the formula isn't with him as being an elite passer. So as long as they can keep this running game intact and this defensive formula intact, and he's willing to manage it and not be caught up in trying to prove everybody wrong, then it's great. But I don't know if that's as nice a compliment as maybe it's poor.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's properly rated. Like, he's generally viewed as a top 10 quarterback. Mm-hmm. A couple years ago, he was second in the MVP race. So that's pretty high praise, coming from the media. And I think for those that want to, complain, oh, nobody loves Jay, nobody thinks he's as good as he is. The reason is because, the reason he's not viewed like Lamar, Josh, Patrick, and Joe Burrow is because he doesn't put up the numbers. Like, he's never thrown for 4,000 yards. He's never thrown 25 touchdowns in a year. He's never averaged 250 yards in a game, for a season. He's never had a passer rating of even 105. He hasn't put up the numbers. And even though he's a dual threat quarterback and a very good runner, he's not Josh or Lamar
as far as
running
prolific,
the football.
Yeah.
Most of his running touchdowns are the tush push. And so I think he's great with the intangibles, which I measure highly, because if you look at Brady and Joe Montana, these guys, their intangibles are off the charts. Most of the best quarterbacks. And so I think that's very important. But I think he's properly rated.
If you inserted Lamar or Josh or Joe in let's see, Tennessee, they're probably going to dramatically change that organization. If you insert Jalen there, is he going to have that same impact, or is it going to have to be an impact that's felt 3 or 4 years down the road when they build up the defense and the running game? You put Lamar there, things change immediately. You put Josh there, things change immediately. You put, Jalen there, they?
So do you think that's fair, KW?
I can never tell, because I don't think it's coming from a disingenuous place as a thought exercise, and I like thought exercises. And I kind of agree with it. I feel like if you put Lamar on the team, and Lamar will be dynamic wherever, and it's very LeBron-esque. LeBron will make prime LeBron anywhere, and that team is good. At the same time, I don't think Jalen Hurts should be penalized for finding a system that works and making that system work to its utmost potential. I also sometimes...
No, he should be credited for that, and credited for having enough selflessness to be able to maintain that mentality.
And then the other thing that I wonder is when we do the old switcheroo of quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts never gets to go to any of these other teams. It's like, man, you know, put Lamar on the Eagles and watch what happens. It'd be the same thing. I'm like, can I play the game of put Jalen Hurts on the Ravens?
Well, Lamar does have
see how the playoff games
so
it wouldn't be as good.
So that
you don't think the Ravens? I mean, I don't think he's as good as Lamar, but I think the Ravens.
Oh,
would be good.
so that's interesting because when Wild
good.
says see how those playoff games go, because when Coach said it, something kind of clicked in my brain, which is the greatest of the great players across sports drastically raise your floor and your ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? So like when you mentioned like peak LeBron, take the worst team in the league, get them playoffs, and you put them on an excellent team, they're going to win the championship, whatever it is. You're talking about, I'm going to use Josh and Lamar specifically, as automatic floor raisers. You know what I mean? Drop them on a team and that team's life changes. What I think Wilds has credited Jalen as is a ceiling raiser.
Yeah.
And a guy that, because he's clutch, he plays his best in big spots, and you don't have to change. You don't have to placate almost his ego in how you call a game. Mm-mm. If you have a great team that, you know what I mean, doesn't need to pass first, you can be like, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And so while I agree that the Ravens would not be the Ravens if with Jalen as Lamar, what they've been in these regular seasons over the course of the last few years, I think that awesome team they had 2 years ago that had hosted the AFC Championship game against Kansas City, I think that team might have had more success in that game with Jalen. And so that part I do think is, but would they have hosted the game with him? I understand that. And
but that's what's always confused me about a guy like Matthew Stafford, who I think is an outstanding quarterback, but for all those years in Detroit, he didn't have the impact on the organization that I would have expected to have with his ability.
Agreed.
So are we in unison? Jalen Hurts properly rated?
Properly rated as a top 5 quarterback.
Well, it's fluid. Everybody knows that.
Fluid,
it's fluid.
No, it's a little battlefield promotion with Burrow. Like, now he's definitely top. We're talking Mount Rushmore right now. Raiders dropped to 1-1. Geno threw the ball 40 times to the Raiders, 3 times to the Chargers, 180 yards total. Is it time, Nick, for you to abandon your adopted Raiders?
All right, let me say something. Hubbs, our great executive producer, picked this question. He's a little rusty on questions. This is one of the dumbest questions we've asked.
Okay.
Really?
When I picked them to make the playoffs, I thought through 2 games they'd be 1-1. It's not like this has been some massive disappointment of a start of a season for the Raiders. This was an awful game from Geno. Like, there's no way around it. And one of the reasons that Geno is, you know, in my opinion, right in that top 10 discussion like we've talked about, but not firmly in there, he's somewhere from like 9 to 12, is because his bad games. What do you?
Coach and I are looking at. I don't think Geno's in that.
No, I've said that. I've said
12.
No. I'm saying for
top
me.
15.
That's. But I'm saying I wasn't saying universally regarded. I'm saying for me. But what is preventing him from being firmly, clearly a top 10 quarterback is his bad games can be really bad, and this was one of the worst games he's played. The thing that happened yesterday, though, that was to me the most concerning was not Geno related, because I don't think he's going to play like this moving forward. It's the fact that the Raiders seem to be calling their plays like somebody else drafted a running back 6 overall. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part. He had 11 carries. He never gets the ball on back-to-back downs. And I understand he right now, Coach, is a problem in pass protection. But, and I know you talked about him catching the ball. But
I thought he was Earl.
But hold on. Let me ask you this question.
What's his rushing at?
No. Yesterday he was good. The first game they won, he was not good that first game. But yesterday, hold on. Let me ask you a question. If you spend the 6th pick of the draft on a guy because he is a brilliant natural runner, there's an element of we don't care if us having him on the field signals we're running the ball. If we're running the ball, we're not giving it to Zamir White in 3rd and 2. We're giving it to the guy we picked 6th overall.
Yeah.
So that part, to me, he wasn't very good in game 1. Game 2, he was good running the ball, and he never got the ball.
I mean, he had 11 attempts for 43 yards,
Yeah.
so he had 3.9.
That's not great.
No, it's better than what they were
11 for
getting from
43.
anyone else yesterday.
Look, I do agree, Nick. I think what would help Geno a lot is if they could get the running game going. And I think if you do spend those types of resources on getting a running back, you should probably give him more than 11 attempts.
Thank you.
And maybe he's the type of guy that as the attempts increase, his production will increase. And he has shown the ability to break away, definitely in college. It just hasn't hit yet. And for Geno to be successful, they're going to have to establish a much stronger running game because it's just not going to work this way.
The Raiders are what I thought they were.
It's only 2 games for them.
That's what they are. They're certainly not one of the best 2 teams in the division. We'll see who's better between them and Denver. And, you know, Pete Carroll, I think he knows how to handle running back, a great running back. He had Marshawn Lynch. So I like Genty, but, you know, I didn't think he was going to come and take the lead by storm.
In a spot.
That's a big game.
Yeah, where it looks like
too.
Jaden might not be playing.
Beat up Commanders.
Right. And that would actually put them ahead of my schedule. You know what I mean? Like you'd be the Commander in the Chargers, we can't 30 minutes ago be talking about how the Chargers how great the Chargers defense is in my opinion, and then kill Genty for only getting 40 yards on limited touches. Like that, you know what I mean? Like game 1, Genty wasn't good. I would just expect him to feed him.
2 worst running teams in the league. Bengals are last. Raiders are 2nd to last.
Yeah.
124 total yards on the ground.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.